Good morning, Internet. This is the Old Fat Dad, and welcome back to another beautiful day on the Goober Nation gun range. Today we've got a battle of the brothers. Two of the most popular Magnum Rimfire rounds. We're putting them head to head, and we are gonna bust some beavers. Let's take it to the table. And here are our two contenders today, chambered in 17 HMR Hornady Magnum Rimfire. We've got the Ruger Precision Rimfire, and on the left, Old Faithful 22 Magnum. We've got the Chiappa Double Badger. The top barrel is 22 Magnum, and we've got the bottom barrel in 410, but we're not going to be looking at that today. To keep things fair, we're going to be using these two rounds. In 22 Magnum, we've got the VMAX with a 30 grain bullet, and in 17 HMR, I've got the 17 grain bullet loaded up, also VMAX, and these are respectively the fastest rounds you can get for the two cartridges, I believe. I think the 17 HMR is rated about 2,500 feet per second, while our 22 Magnum is rated about 2,200 feet per second. But we're not going to go by what the manufacturer says. No. We are going to take it to the chronograph and see what the actual numbers are. For our velocity test, we are going to run Old Reliable here first. And we're only going to fire 3 shots over the chronograph because, as you will see, it takes about 2.5 hours to load up rounds. So 3 shots should do us just fine. Let's see what kind of velocities we get with the 22 Magnum. 2193. It's real close to that 2200 mark. Round 2. $21.72. Again, pretty darn close. Final shot. $21.87. Real close to that 2200 mark. Let's switch it over to the new Hotness and see how the 17 does. Alright, let's send 17 grains of Fury downrange and see what kind of velocities we are getting. First shot, 2600. Okay, that is a smidge faster than advertised speed. 2606, very consistent. 2605, wow. Those are really tight numbers, and we are 50 FPS over. We're about 20 to 30 feet per second lower with the 22 mag, but both are in that manufacturer's advertised velocity ballpark. Now, I would do an accuracy test, but I don't know if you noticed, but all I've got is a red dot up top of the 22 mag, so I don't think that would be a real fair thing to do at this point. So let's just move on to the fun stuff. Let's see how these 2 rounds are going to do against our small game simulator, the dog food, and then finally, let's go bust some beavers. Because of the extreme beaver busting ability of these 2 Magnum rounds on our poor little small game simulator that just fell off the table. Hold on. Now, like I was saying, due to the extreme beaver busting ability of these 2 rounds, when we use our small game simulator, which is much smaller than a beaver, we're going to put it narrow end facing me and fire long ways through the target so we can really get a good feeling for the terminal effect. This red dot is probably zeroed. We're going to find out just how well in 1 second. Here we go. Oh yes! It is definitely zeroed. Let's go check out those results. The 22 mag did a very impressive job of perforating our pet food. Now we're going to switch to our super speed demon, the 17 HMR. See what kind of hurt we can put down on this poor old dog food. he jumped quite a bit. But did it do more damage than the old 22 mag? Let's see what happened. Results on the dog food. First up is our 22 mag, and here's where we went in, and you can see a nice little hole out the back. We hit a little bit high on there, but it did do a good job of splitting that can very nicely. Large amount of energy on target. Not too bad of a job for the 22 mag. Let's check out the 17. Here is my shot with the 17 that I got on film, and it is kind of a high shot. It just traveled right along that top edge, and you can see that whole can is crumpled. But what I wasn't getting with this shot is a good idea if it would go through the back. Because we hit so high, I think it just kind of skipped off there, and I don't know if the bullet would have gone through or not. Definitely did a ton of damage though. So I took another shot. I didn't get this one on film, but I think we can kind of see what we need to see from this one, whether it will go whether it will go through. In this case, we had a center hit, and it just totally ripped open the can on both sides, mangled it completely. But let's take a look at the back side. Nothing out the back, although I will say we can see where all the shards and broken bits of 17 HMR were hitting the back side of the can. Just not enough solid pieces going fast enough to go all the way through. So a big difference there between the 22 mag and the 17 HMR. Penetration. 22 mag is a penetrator. 17 mag just blows its load up front and makes a huge mess. Per tradition, we're going to shoot age before beauty. The old 22 mag gets the first crack at our angry beaver. We've been building up to this. We shot that wimpy little small game simulator. Now we're going for a healthy medium-sized game, the dangerous, tricky little beaver. Let's see how 22 mag does on the beaver. I think I got a good hit, but boy oh boy, that beaver just soaked it up and didn't really do much. Let's see what happened. Well, the 22 mag's beaver busting days might be behind him. I don't know. Especially if we get some more impressive results with the 17. Let's see what the new Hotness can put down. All right, well, you know what? These beavers are a lot tougher than I thought. So you've seen the slow-mo. Let's take a close-up look at the damage here. Here's our 22 Magnum, and we've got just a little 22 sized hole in there. And then out the back, you know, it's not a terrible exit, but I was really expecting it to blow up quite a bit more. We did get the cracks all the way through, sizable exit. The 22 mag is a penetrator for sure. Let's see what our 17 looks like. And again, just a tiny little 17 sized hole in there, and then out the back, still cracked it, still got a decent sized exit, but you know what? I don't think it can compete with the 22 mag. Did not put as much damage down as that 22 mag. Well, it looks like the old reliable 22 mag seems to be the best beaver buster, at least in our testing today. The new Hotness, the Speed King 17 HMR, puts up a good fight, but when it comes down to busting up those bigger targets, that 22 mag just can't be beat. On those small game simulators though, the 17 definitely puts up a better performance. At least that's what I'd say. It certainly blows them apart way better than a 22 does. I'm curious to know what you think though. Who's our best beaver buster between the two most popular Magnum Rimfire rounds? Put it down in the comments below. I'm curious to hear what you have to say. And that's about all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.